This is another Cardsfan 13_5 and C Miller 008 production on Modern Warfare 3. Today I'm going to be reviewing what each perk actually means and what they'll do for you in a battle. So the first perk in the perk 1 selection slot is Recon. The definition is that its explosive damage paints the target on the minimap. So in the battle, what's going to happen if you throw a grenade and you get a hit marker, Pablo Picasso will sprint from his house and paint you a picture of where the guy is on the map. And then Recon Pro is classified right now, so I don't know what that is. Sleight of Hand is faster reloading, and the picture shows you that while you're reloading, you clap 3 times, and then your gun will automatically reload. That's what the picture means. And Sleight of Hand Pro is swap weapons faster, and the picture really tells you a whole lot more description of what it really is. 3 hand claps and a star. So you clap 3 times and run around in a star formation. Blind Eye is the third selection in the perk 1 slot. The definition is undetectable by air support and sentries. So if there's a gigantic eye in the sky, you can't be seen, which is almost impossible because even if you're wearing a ghillie suit, I could still see you in a gigantic forest. But I guess Infinity Ward thinks it's pretty regular to be invisible. And Blind Eye Pro is classified. Extreme Conditioning is the 4th one. The definition is sprint for longer distances, and again the picture shows 3 people running. So if you get in a group of 3 and sprint all at exactly the same time, you run in a straight line together at a speed that's 3 times the normal speed of the person in the game. The 5th perk is Scavenger Pro, or just regular old Scavenger really. I love this perk. The definition is resupply from dead enemies, and the picture shows you a vulture just kind of perched up somewhere. Basically what this perk does is if you or anyone else on your team kills someone, then they drop a bag of goodies and you can go pick it up, and somehow before that person died they managed to throw in a bunch of ammo and flashbangs for you, so you have a little care package. They thought Christmas came a little early and they figured they'd give you something for killing them. Scavenger Pro is just the definition is extra mags, and the picture is a vulture with a star instead of a square. I'm not really sure what that means. I haven't gotten too in depth with that yet, but I'm guessing that they give you a bunch of extra magazines like Sports Illustrated, ESPN, stuff like that. Now we're going to the perk 2 slot. The first perk is Quick Draw, faster aiming, and the picture shows 3 different guns with a rainbow surrounding them. So basically what that means to me is if you switch your gun 3 times, a gigantic rainbow is going to appear, and you're probably going to get at least 5 kills in a row, I'd guess. The second one is Blast Shield. Definition is increased explosive resistance. The picture shows a grenade that hasn't yet been, whatever you call it, whenever you pull the pin. It's not ready to explode yet, which would obviously mean that there's a lot more resistance to that grenade because it's not going to ever explode. And then Blast Shield Pro is resistance to flash and stun, which I really didn't find effective at all because I ran into a room and got flashed right away when I used it, so I turned it off. Hardline is kill streaks require 1 less kill, which, I mean, unless you're using a 3 kill streak, it really doesn't make any sense to use this. Who can't just get 1 more kill? And then Hardline Pro, I don't even know what that is because I don't use Hardline, just because of the definition that I just told you. 4th one is Assassin. You become undetectable by UAV, portable radar, thermal, and heartbeat sensors. I've personally never seen anyone using a heartbeat sensor on this game. I'm pretty sure that they're useless, but if you use Assassin, then you're undetectable by them. Portable radar is just a little bowl of jelly that you throw on the ground, and somehow it tells you where everyone is on the map. And Assassin Pro is you become immune to counter UAV and EMP, and there's no red crosshair or name when targeted. So that becomes extremely helpful when you're running and gunning, because if you stand right next to somebody and they look at you, they're not going to see your name. They're just going to see you and think, wow, it's just a random person here, I'm just going to leave them alone. And Overkill, I've never used this, but you can carry 2 primary weapons, which I'm guessing that, I don't know why they do this, but just about every Call of Duty they change the name of this perk. Can't even remember what the other ones were. Overkill and one-man army and all that other stuff that they call it. Just a great perk that I will never use. In the perk 3 slot, the first perk is Marksman. You identify enemy targets at longer range. So if you're using a sniper or a shotgun, then you can aim down your sights and it's going to show you where everyone on the map is. Basically just like you're sitting in a gigantic hot air balloon looking down on top of the map. It'll tell you where every single person is. Stalker, you move faster while aiming. I don't know about anyone else, but I don't know why I have to be Usain Bolt while I'm aiming down my sights. I could just tiptoe around while aiming down my sights if that's alright with you guys. The third perk is Sitrep. You can detect enemy explosives and tactical equipment. I don't get the picture at all. It's just a pyramid that's been cut into 4 slices with an eye on it with arrows going every different direction. I don't know how that has to deal with explosives in any way, shape, or form. But that's just Infinity Ward's way of showing things. Steady aim gives you increased hipfire accuracy. So if you tend to spray a lot, then I guess you should use this perk. I always aim down my sights. But for some people like Raul Ocampo or Matt Calvert or somebody like that on that skill level, then you might need this perk. I don't know. The third perk, actually the 5th perk in the 3rd slot is Dead Silence. You can move quietly and reduce the effects of recon. I use this perk. I don't find the base perk to be of any need at all. I don't care if people hear me when I'm running around. But I do enjoy the Pro perk, which is no falling damage, which is the equivalent of Commando Pro in Modern Warfare 2. So that's all the perks. I'll go through the lethal grenades and tell you how those all work. A frag grenade, what you do, the definition on here is cookable frag grenades. So basically they threw in a word that if you didn't know what frag meant, they put it in there anyway, and just so you still won't understand. Cookable frag grenades. With these grenades, there's 2 different options. You can pull the pin and just throw it, or you can cook the grenade, which requires you to have a frying pan. And you have to pull the pin, set it in the pan, add a little olive oil and butter and garlic in there, and then fry it up and then throw it. But you only have 3 seconds to do that. So I tend to just throw them before I cook them. A Semtex is a tiny sticky explosive, or actually a timed sticky explosive. So this grenade is pretty similar to the frag, except that the frag bounces off things and the Semtex will stick. I don't know what type of sticky stuff they used in this that makes it stick to where you can't even pull it off. It has to be like super mighty glue or something like that. Throwing knife, the definition that they have is throw it and pick it back up. Yeah, throw it and pick it back up. I dare anyone to throw a frag grenade and run and pick it back up. That's my dare to anyone who watches this video. But yeah, I don't know why their definition is throw it and pick it back up. I can throw my gun and pick it back up. That'd be a whole lot more efficient than throwing a knife and picking it back up. Bouncing Betty, it launches into the air before detonating. They really should do a better job with the definitions on these. A Bouncing Betty, you set it down in an area where you figure somebody's going to be walking across, and when they step in the proximity of this, it's going to launch itself into the air, spinning in circles, and explode. And the majority of the time, you're not even going to get a hit marker because these things are so terrible. They take at least like 5 seconds to go into the air, and then once they get in the air, they wait another 5 seconds before they explode. So I'd tend to stay away from these. The next lethal thing that you can use is a Claymore. Definition is a proximity activated explosive mine. Actually, if you read the Claymore, it says back M118A1 Aperture Mine. So this is a lot like the Bouncing Betty, except it's actually usable. You can place it down, and it's going to have 2 lasers shooting out of it, and once an enemy steps within a proximity of this mine, then it's going to explode. And normally it does take 1 or 2 seconds for it to explode, but that's a lot better than 10 seconds for the Bouncing Betty. There is a fault to this Claymore, though. If you run past it and get on the back side of it, then you won't get hurt at all, which I don't understand, because I guess that somehow this Claymore explodes in a completely forward direction and nothing goes off behind it. And the last thing is C4. The picture they show isn't even the C4, it's just the remote detonator. I haven't unlocked it yet, so I haven't been able to look at the definition. But it's unlocked at General 1, level 69. What this is just a package of like marshmallow dust or something like that. You throw it down on the ground, and somehow your remote detonator blows it up. And I really don't find it to be that useful, because you have to be watching it at all times to see when somebody walks over it for it to blow up. It might be useful in like tactical game modes like Demolition or something like that, but Kill Confirmed and Team Deathmatch and stuff like that, it's just not useful. Well, this has been another CardsFan 13_5 and C Miller 008 production. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.